gonna, there we go. All right. This up. All right, it is 6:31. I will call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the May 13th, 2026 Benton Township minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve the May 13th, 2026 Benton Township minutes.
Second.
We'll vote by roll call in alphabetical order by last name. Please respond with a yes, no, or abstain. Dodds?
Yes.
Husk? Yes. McInerney?
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, next up is our series of reports, starting with the financial report.
Okay, so for May, our Township Roads and Infrastructure Fund had 0 month-to-date expenses, 0 year-to-date expenses, remaining approved budget, 0, cash balance of 0. In our rainy day fund, we had 0 month-to-date expenses. Our year-to-date expenses remain at $24,986.00. Our remaining approved budget is $15,014.00. And our cash available is $18,635.71. In our township fund, our expenses in May were $3,890.61, leaving our year-to-date expenses of $19,909.36. A remaining approved budget of $95,090.64, and a cash balance of $98,970.90. In our Township Assistance Fund, we had 0 expenses in May, leaving our year-to-date expenses of $324.40. Remaining approved budget of $19,675.60, and a cash balance of $123,780.79. Our Recreation Fund, in May, we spent $54.90, leaving our year-to-date expenses of $1,806.02, a remaining approved budget of $4,693.98, and a cash balance of $11,757.35. Our COVID donation fund stands at $450.22, and our volunteer fire department donation fund stands at $3,378.70. We had a $25 refund for a stop payment fee that was made in error on the bank's part, not my part. Our usual $1,382.83 in local income tax, and our trust and Indiana account earned $647.87.
Do I have a motion to approve the financial report?
I motion to approve the financial report.
Second.
All right, we'll vote by roll call. Dodds?
Yes.
Husk? Yes. McInerney?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next up on the agenda is the trustees report.
As far as our website, I received training on how to make edits to our new website, but I have not had a chance to go in since then to play around with it. As far as the Unionville Senior Center, we have accepted the bid for Balance Flooring to come replace the carpet with vinyl. We're in the process of picking out the vinyl and hope to have this completed this summer. I have also accepted a proposal from Cassidy Electric to replace our current harsh LED lights in the Unionville Senior Center and the Township office with softer can lights. As far as the water damage, the work to repair the damaged ceiling and walls from this year's ice dam has concluded. However, in working with our contractors during the wet period, I was notified that we had water coming in during heavy rains that entered about 12 to 18 inches in from the front door. Thrasher Landscaping, who helped us with ongoing flooding problems in the Senior Center, will be installing a small drain right before our door to help direct the water away from being inside. And we expect that to be this summer as well. We received a compliment for the American flags placed in Step Cemetery, which was done by the American Legion. The person giving us the compliment is going to send a thank you note to them. As far as the parcel on Tunnel Road, I reached out to the auditor's office about getting this parcel's legal description corrected and entered correctly into GIS. However, that's all I have to report. I don't have any next steps moving forward. As far as our new deputy trustee, Gretchen Hall served as deputy for 1 week in May. While I was out of the township, she did an excellent job responding to emails and phone calls and looks forward to ongoing training and service. From the Monroe Fire Protection District, we received this plaque of gratitude from them. It says, "Thank you to Benton Township and Michelle Wright for your contribution of Zoll cardiac monitors." And there are 4 firefighters, one of which was a volunteer here at Benton Township in front of a fire truck. So this will go in the office. And then I asked for a report for the cardiac monitors. Now, due to some, I'm not sure why, but the request for the report wasn't forwarded to the right person until late yesterday. So this is an abbreviated report, and from here on out, they should be more helpful. So during the month of May, there were approximately 17 EMS calls in which the cardiac monitors at station 24, 25, and 26, which is Benton, Bloomington, and Washington Township, were utilized within Benton Township. Of those 17 incidents, 6 calls were specifically for cardiac-related symptoms. The monitors were used to obtain and transmit 12 lead EKGs during 3 of those incidents. And when I asked why there was such a big discrepancy, they weren't really sure, and they didn't really have time to give me that information. But a proposal was that the low number may be due to the proximity of the ambulance at the time that they were on the scene. So, like I said, future reports will be more informative. Regarding the CPR devices, the district continues to evaluate options with our medical director. They are setting up a clinical trial to use 2 of the preferred units in the field. The trial will provide real-life data to ensure we are making an informed decision. I anticipate a final decision will be made in August. As far as Danny Smith Park, I have requested for the second time an update regarding the status of outstanding projects for the 2025-2026 grant year. And as of today, I have not received a response. Last month, we spent a fair amount of time talking about our vegetation policy. Following our last meeting, I started the investigation and abatement process for vegetation on a parcel on East State Road 45, according to our current vegetation policy, which we signed last year. So it's our 2025 vegetation policy that is carried over. After 2 letters were sent, both certified as well as regular mail, the homeowner was informed of our policies. At the time of the mowing appointment, I believe the homeowner had mowed the west side of the property. The area immediately adjacent to his house, which is about 19 feet from the back property line on the south side, and the State Department of Transportation probably mowed the north side on his behalf. This left the south property line boundary as well as the east area where there is no fence. With support of the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, we abated the portions of vegetation that did not comply with our policies. The homeowner will be given the opportunity to reimburse the township for the applicable costs, and if not, then these amounts will be added to their fall property tax bill. Any questions?
When did you submit the second notice to the Danny Smith Park regarding an update?
It was very recently.
Okay. Do we have a date? It would just be nice in some of these to actually have because I'm curious about how long.
So it was Thursday, June 4th, and the previous email before that was April 8th.
Okay.
I think they are still in baseball season, so.
Park was full when I drove by this evening. Yeah, I understand that. It would be nice to have a response. How long did the deputy chief gave us this report with a day's notice?
I'm sorry?
The deputy chief for the report for the EMS calls. I know that it says here that we're going to receive more detailed reports later, but I'm impressed that they got us something. So I'd like to give them the other record saying thank you to getting that information to us.
Yeah, so my original request for an update was June 1st, and I did not hear anything back. And so Monday was when I followed up with them, and I know that they have their board meeting tonight. So it was a busy time of them doing their reports for their meetings too.
Yeah, I just want to express my appreciation for them getting us any information, and I look forward to the additional information on the reports. Board have any other questions or comments?
No.
All right. Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the trustees report.
Second.
All right, vote by roll call. Dodds?
Yes.
Husk? Yes. McInerney?
Yes.
Motion passes. And finally, under the reports, we have the Township Assistance Report.
A former client from 2023 called stating that a pledge to Duke Energy for $716 was not posted to their account. After some research, the client was advised that the amount pledged was $182, which did clear the bank, and to contact us with any questions. There have been no further communication. A county employee from the Monroe County Solid Waste District contacted us on behalf of an ongoing client for an application for dumpster rental for a property that has some legal ongoing sanctions. Information was given on how to apply for assistance, as well as information that will be followed up from their last application. As of today, I've had no further communication. On May 18th, an Area 10 Agency on Aging case manager contacted us about a man living on Mount Gilead Road needing assistance. Now, Mount Gilead also is in a part of it in Bloomington Township, so I don't have an address, but they were directed on how to apply for assistance. And then a few days later, on May 23rd, our Ring camera documented an elderly male getting an application out of our application mailbox. However, as of today, no request for an appointment has been made.
Does the board have any questions or comments?
None.
Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the Township Assistance Report?
Motion to approve the township assistance report.
Second.
All right, we'll vote by roll call. Dodds?
Yes.
Husk? Yes. McInerney?
Yes.
Motion passes. All right. Next up on the agenda, we have our 2026 policies. That I think that we're ready to approve them. So we've all received them in advance.
Yeah, and these were unchanged since last time. So I have our resolution regarding electronic meetings, our travel policy, authorizing credit. You know what? I did have a minor change authorizing credit card use. I can talk about here in a minute.
Okay.
The policy on materiality and process for reporting material items, our internal controls policy, our resolution for nepotism in contracting and nepotism in employment. In regards to our credit card use, I had updated on D, authorized users, to say trustee, currently Michelle Wright, board chair, currently Joe Hess, when serving as or with deputy trustee, which that kind of makes sense because, you know, sometimes you were, at one period, you were the only one to have a credit card. And any other person appointed by the trustee to serve as deputy trustee is what I added.
Okay. Does the board have any questions or comments?
None.
That was under authorized user, which looks like threw the formatting off a little bit. But I have no issues. All right, you want to approve these en masse, or do you want to do one at a time?
I'm good with doing them that.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the 2026 policies for nepotism in contracting, nepotism in employment, credit card policy, travel policy, electronic meeting policy, and internal controls policy?
I motion to approve the 2026 policies for nepotism, contracting, nepotism, and employment, credit card policy, travel policy, electric meeting policy, internal controls policy.
Second.
We'll vote by roll call. Dodds?
Yes.
Husk? Yes. McInerney?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. We have some signing to do. You can probably borrow, all right.
I got one.
I don't-
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, I'll show.
Here.
secretary has multiple.
Thank you. Blue.
I know. I actually don't like that pen at all. I bought it after I got elected and I paid like $14 for it. I was like, I'm gonna have a fancy pen and it's awful.
You know, they say that you should sign documents with the blue pen because then if they're copied, it comes back.
Hey, that pen just gained us
Yeah.
some status, didn't it?
It still writes terrible. This free IU pen I have writes way better. I take it everywhere. It's hard enough watching. That's what's amazing to me.
Assuming you want signatures here,
Thanks. It's not my form.
and then are we signing on this page as well?
No. I just have.
Let's enter the, okay, that's just looking at the names. There. This is just a form, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we're signing that? No, that's just the other part of the form. Okay, so 2 signatures. It gets away from you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but it's now that I've been able to test right with it, I'm looking for. Where's that bag?
Not moisture on my fingers to turn these pages, fall outside in the humidity. All right. Finally, under old board business, the second item is the 2026 vegetation policy.
Yeah, so I submitted to the board a few changes from last time upon the advice of our attorney and some further reflection. So the changes that I had was to add, it's highlighted in the policy, so add IC to the first paragraph, letting people know what IC means. Added the Indiana code for detrimental plants. Added detrimental plants and noxious weeds to number 1, and then there's a code reference. And for I guess I don't know if you want me to just go through them top to bottom, or do you want me to do the attorney suggestions first and then my thoughts later?
So you've not incorporated the attorneys.
I have, so the
Okay.
attorneys are in yellow,
Okay.
mine is in green. So for example, rank vegetation, defining allowing vegetation to return to a natural landscape habitat via an actively and purposefully managed area featuring native plants, rain gardens, or pollinator habitats. And then we talked about item number 1. As far as item number 2, for properties less than 1/4 acre in size, the requirement of a 4-foot boundary is reduced to 2 feet.
Okay.
The attorney suggested some clarification regarding the border. This required border includes all perimeters of the property which border a neighboring property. The mowed area is measured from the property line. All mowed border areas shall be less than 8 inches in height at all times. Again, we had talked last time about adding a picture, so I did that last time. There was some slight wording adjustments to residential areas shall apply to a parcel of real estate zoned residential that does not exceed 3 acres in size. Another thing that kind of hit me in the head earlier this week is that this policy is enacted upon the receipt of a vegetation complaint. I don't want the impression to be that I'm driving around policing it, because I'm not.
I like that addition.
And then as far as item number 2, I thought the extreme deviation from the aesthetic appearance of nearby houses seemed subjective, and I wanted to go with something that was more objective and measurable in order to know if we're enacting that. Attorney had suggested, actually, that was my suggestion, so it should be green. If abatement is required, the township will mow the vegetation on the property down to at least 6.5 inches or the maximum height of a commercial lawnmower deck. That we weren't going to be, if someone had a more natural lawn in the front, that we would be applying the standards to the back. It's just going to be if we have to mow, we're mowing.
Okay.
And then failure to maintain property in conformance with this policy may result in abatement by the Benton Township trustee under the authority found in these Indiana codes. So, first off, what does the board think of these changes?
I like all of them. Yeah, I think it reads really well.
I like the changes too. There's one thing I'm just curious about. When you say the designation, do they actually, let me try to make this clear. Do they actually have to have a designation, or can they just say, my lawn's a natural lawn, you know, like that, like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. So that was actually one idea that I forgot to write down. So thanks, Sean, for prompting me for that. Is to have people register their yards as like being more natural, and that we could make sure that they sign that they agree that this is our policy, or acknowledge that this is our policy. So that is one suggestion that I don't have on here. But yeah, I still wrestle with a few things. So can we maybe skip that part of it and
sure.
anything? Joe, did you have any thoughts?
I definitely just wanted to add that I like the fact that upon receipt of a vegetation plan was added. I think that's an important distinction in there.
So my hesitations are still, and someone had reached out, and what if the person is elderly and low income and they're not able to do it? So are they going to be penalized? And I thought, well, like we could refer them in our letter to maybe some nearby mowers who might do it for them, but what if they don't have the money? You know, would they then have to apply for assistance, you know, for assistance with that? What if their mower is broke and they can't, you know, new mowers are pricey nowadays. So I still think we have some work to do on this. I mean, if you wanted to go ahead and sign what it is tonight, we can revisit. That's fine. Another thing is right now we don't have any borders along agricultural areas. That's a requirement. So
I think my leaning would be to approve what we have here tonight, and if we want to make changes to it, I think that's absolutely fine. I think that there's enough I find that there's enough in here that has changed to be worthy of an approval, especially with some of the, on receipt of the vegetation complaint, some of the other components in here. I think this is really on strong footing. I do agree that we do have some more, there's potentially some work here to be done, especially like you said on, financial. People don't have the finances to do it. I think that we could put some exemptions in there, but it's a slippery slope too.
Indiana code really doesn't allow for those kind of exemptions. It's just kind of
Maybe we put in there options that they have, like you had mentioned, of, contacting, mowers and seeing if they can provide a discount for them.
or local churches, or, maybe Area 10 might have some folks. I mean, I can see where, I don't know, I have contacted that in the past when someone needed help with plumbing. That was not something that we do because it was in a property that they did not live in. But to be honest, I was very surprised at the lack of response when I reached out asking for help. Also, the property in question, I drove by yesterday morning, still seems great, and being addressed. And meanwhile, there was another property that I had seen where the vegetation had grown up nearby. That is also mowed, but then we have another property where, and this person has been in contact with us before, and it may be one of those, they just can't do it for financial or health reasons. So, but is that fair for the neighbor?
I mean, personally, I would like to see neighbors helping neighbors, and if somebody is having their lawn mowed, potentially help out a neighbor that potentially can't afford it or is, unable to. I mean, we are community focused. I know that if my neighbor was having an issue with not being able to mow their lawn, I would certainly try to help out.
So I did not actually print this out, so do you want me to clear formatting and print it out?
Please.
Sign tonight? Are you gonna do karaoke while we wait?
I don't think that anybody wants to see that.
I agree with you, Joe. I think we should go forward with this and then discuss it at some later point. It doesn't sound like we can resolve every potential issue.
We're reading through what was provided to us before the meeting regarding from the lawyer's perspective about some of these things. I think these changes, suggested changes in the implementation of it are definitely worthy of updating this document. I get the feeling this will continue to be a document that we look at, because it is, or can be considered subjective.
Mhm.
But if someone has a complaint and they make a complaint, the person has the ability to respond, right? To say, this is why I'm not mowing my yard.
Well, I think that
But does that matter or?
no, I mean, I think
Okay.
the complaint goes immediately. If you're formalizing a complaint, it goes to the trustee. And the trustee has to take action. So it's kind of like,
Okay.
once we're informed of that information, then we have to act on it, pursuant to policy. But I would like to think that the neighbor would go to the neighbor, before that escalates to that kind of moment. I mean, I talk to my neighbors out here far more than I did when I was in the city of Bloomington.
Well, I like what you said about community too. I mean, if we had resources to refer people to say, look, if this is an issue of cost, you can call,
Well, here's some options.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like for the most part, you're usually only gonna get these when it's come down to like a feuding standpoint, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I think that a lot of neighbors are not working out.
Yeah, because it's either gonna be a scenario where they hey, maybe I'd like you to know that, but they don't want to, and you just drop it. Or they don't care in the first place at all. So by the time it's getting to us, it's already become an issue. And how do you prevent somebody from using it as a tool?
Yeah. Well, and some properties are more, if it's a visibility issue for like people driving, that's more critical than if it's just, out in the middle of nowhere and you just don't like looking at it. That's a little different, but I don't know. I don't think there's a perfect answer.
I agree. I mean, I think that we're doing the best that we can.
Yeah. No, I think this is.
And I think these additional changes, are along that process.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like that we're inserting, over the top rules. We're just basically pointing out what the state says is not allowed, and then this is what you're allowed to maintain, not maintain.
Right.
So you used to live in Bloomington, and then how was it handled there? Like if there was an issue with the neighbor's yard?
I mean, I wasn't part of the board there, so I didn't really interact with that, but we didn't have any neighbors that didn't mow their lawn.
Go on, formatting.
I don't have any direct experience, but I think I worked for the city for about 5 years now. I think, not for that area, but I think they can fine you for not keeping your grass a certain level. So it's probably way more strict, I think.
I mean, they have rules on keeping your sidewalk clear of snow. It has to be within, I think, 48 hours of the snowfall.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It's a wild one because you see people that clearly take that seriously, and you see people that just never clear
On
themselves.
our street, we were the only ones that took it seriously.
Really?
And we had a road in the front and back, so we had to shovel both. But I had somebody come up to me one time and said, "Thank you for shoveling your sidewalk." And I was like, "I'm sorry, not neighbors." There was a gentleman that used to he had a riding lawnmower, and he had a snow plow in front of it. He would just every year when the snow fell, he would come through and do he had an entire do all of it, and it was really nice. Okay, we're ready. All right. Back to my notes here. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the 2026 vegetation policy?
I motion to approve the 2026 vegetation policy.
Second.
All right, we'll vote by roll call. Dodds?
Yes.
Husk? Yes. McInerney?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
So I guess, how happy are you all with this? Or you still want us to continue to flesh out this elderly and low income?
I mean, I think if you have suggestions and you want to, look at that, then that's fine. Otherwise, I'm actually happy with how it is right now.
I'm happy with it too. I don't think we can resolve everything with the policy. I just think that's not possible.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's got a picture.
It's a picture. I think I'm certainly open to revisit it at any time that you'd like to, for whatever reason. I think it's, hard to plan for some of the scenarios that could come out of it, really, until they happen.
Yeah, we really only average about 1 or 2 a year. And sometimes a letter is all it takes. Do you have the other page? Yeah. And sometimes a letter is all it takes, just a little nudge, but sometimes for whatever reason, that's not enough, whether they don't understand the policy or they choose not to abide by it, or if it's a health or equipment issue.
Well, I imagine for some people, it's the first time they've seen that there's a policy. Okay. All right, there's no public comment this evening, so it is 7:06. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
And to adjourn.
Second,
All right, we'll by roll call. Dodds?
yes.
Husk, yes. McInerney?
Yes.
All right. Motion passes. We are adjourned.